Hello hopeful friends, I'm Della from Court of Hope, Cornwall. Welcome to my channel. It's the 13th of July 2026, which means it's Pinkoween Cornwall Day. I try and do this every 13th of the month. Last time you saw a video from me was actually the 13th of December. And since then we've had Christmas. And then on the 12th and 13th of January, we went down to the farm. Mr. Orr had some things to do, pottering around, and he had a new toy. And I did some sewing and I filmed it with the full intention of uploading it on the 13th in the evening. And this is that video. Hello hopeful friends. We're at the farm today and the men are tinkering with their tractors, so I thought I'd stay inside and do some filming. Because I'm not in my normal studio, I want to show you what Father Christmas bought me. It's a ring light with a stand. So let's set this up and then I can start filming in about half an hour, I expect. Lots of goodies in here, attachments, and a tripod. That's what I really wanted. So when I do my mantle musings, I won't have to hold the camera at a funny angle. Let's get this all out. Well, I've put it all together and then I've taken it apart again. It's a fantastic bit of kit, but it won't do overhead such. It's more for facing the camera yourself. So I think it's going to be really useful for mantle musings, but not for overhead. So I'm going to have to do this manually. Let's put it back in its box for now. You may remember last month I had decided to sew the hexagons on individually onto my black hat. Well, I had a little go at that and it looked awful, so I've just ripped it out again. I didn't even bother to film it. So I've gone back to doing the lines of hexagons and I've done them into strips, and I'm going to lay this out into a triangle. Here's the triangle, and now what I need to do is sew these strips together. So this is probably going to take me a couple of hours. As I say, we're at the farm. Mr. L is out pottering. I don't know what he's doing. It's gone quiet, which is always very suspicious. What's he doing? So I'm going to put some sort of podcast on and sew these together with a nice drink. See you later. Well, the sun's come out now. Mr. L has a new toy. Oh dear. So we had a lovely couple of days and then we came home on the 13th and it was my full intention to upload the video as normal onto YouTube, but I didn't particularly feel very well and I had lost track of what day it was, so I thought, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. And then Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember, the 14th on the 14th, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I had a heart attack. Now, I don't want to bore you all with the drama of it, but as you can imagine, it was quite dramatic. Blue lighted to intensive care and had all sorts of procedures and tests, and they found some things that I didn't know about. As I say, not going to bore you with it, but the result of it, and I have to say I'm okay, so please don't worry, I'm not fishing for any compliments or get wells or anything like that. It's 6 months tomorrow, so I thought it's about time I got back on YouTube. Sorry for the pauses, I'm trying to think. My medication has given me a few side effects, so I've got a little bit of brain fog. I'll get back to you, hang on. Right, that settled me down. One of the side effects has been really severe fatigue. I just haven't wanted to do anything mentally or physically, and it stopped quite a few things. Anyway, the one thing I could do from sort of February time was some sewing, just sitting in a comfortable chair with my feet up, hand sewing, even if it was 2 minutes, and then I could just stop and then start again. So let's see what I've been doing. I have managed to sew all the little hexes together for my hat, and this is as far as Pinkoween has got for this year, but it's July, so I've still got a few more months, because I actually went on to another project. If you've been watching through me for a while, you know I decided that 2026 was going to be a year of finish what you started. It's had a bit of a stop, hasn't it? But also I was going to make things for myself as well as things for charity, and I had made this pretty little quilt as you go needle case and added a few gold bits and pieces to it. So I decided to carry on with that to cheer myself up, because I was feeling a bit fed up and frustrated I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do. So I'd already made this. So first thing I made was a glossy basket. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is just 6, 7, 8 hexagons, and you just sew them in a flower, fold up the sides, put one at the top, and there you are, you have a little basket. And I put all my lovely black and gold clips in those. And I couldn't find a fastener, and I didn't have the energy to root through everything, so I actually sewed one of the clips on to make a closure. So I was quite pleased with that. And then, as you may have seen before, I have this lovely hemline gold pin cushion, but I wanted some different sorts of pins for a project I was doing. So I made myself another little pin cushion, smaller this time, and just 1-inch hexes. Again, the same design as the glossy basket, but only one-sided, and then you sew it up. And it's filled with just some tiny scraps of polyester batting, wadding, waste not, want not. On the 22nd of February was the start of this year's Do the 100-Day project, which I think this is my 5th year. So to keep me motivated, I thought I would do, again, something for me. So I've been doing quilt as you go, hexagons, and I'm still making them. I reached my day 100, and I think I'm on day 140 something today. But I'll do a separate video another time about these. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this. It really, I've only done one a day, and on some days that's all I could manage, and it took me all day to do it, but I did it. which, as you know, if you're not feeling good, it's good to tick something, say, yes, I did something today, and this is what I did. I also did a quiltathon for Relay for Life Listcard. That was the end of May, and I'm going to make a separate video about that. I did record some of it. I'm also doing another quiltathon for Plymouth Relay for Life, which is at the end of July, and I shall film that. So I'm making different hexagons and prepping something a little different this time for that. So I'll show you all that when it's finished, when the quiltathon is over. That's it for this month. Sorry I've been absent. Please don't worry about me. I'm being very well looked after. Thank you to the wonderful NHS and my wonderful husband, Mr. L. Wouldn't be here or couldn't manage without him. So remember, always, whatever's happened, whatever you think's going to happen, stay hopeful. Bye.